Hello, everyone. Happy Thursday. Welcome to episode 6 of the Career Clinic. I'm so excited. Hi, Fa. How are you?
Hi, magandang gabi. Is it already evening?
Fa, by the way, we haven't gone out for a while. Like it's been 3 weeks or almost a
I
month.
know.
So we need to schedule a dinner soon.
We
Okay.
shall, we shall.
Okay. Today's episode is going to be something close to my heart because before I jumped into
Mm,
entrepreneurship, it's the first thing that I did. So today is going to be
it's
about freelancing.
yes, it's also
Drum
dear to
roll.
my heart, John,
So
because
when I
you
was
know
thinking of a
me.
topic, Fa, I was thinking like, what is one thing that Fa also has experience and is passionate
Mm,
about to talk about? So I realized it's freelancing. So we're gonna talk about that. Before we do that, however, Fa, let's call out our viewers.
I'm
So looking at the
seeing
chat box,
from
has
Facebook, Layla.
watching from Laguna. Hello, hello. Also have here from
Hello.
LinkedIn says Mark, also saying happy Friday. Mark, it's only Thursday, by the way.
Oo.
Maybe you got it wrong.
Excited si
Thank you.
Mark.
Okay. For those who are just jumping in for the first time, could you please give me an exclamation mark? Please do that. Also, I'm not
Welcome.
seeing yet a lot of likes and hearts. I'm asking you now to please press that button. It will be great. It's going to improve our social media algorithm. That's the one thing that will inspire us to continue this free career clinic series.
Thank you so
So
much.
Thelma
Ayan
also
na.
says good day. There you go. Jazz says hello, Jonathan and Farah. Very good. Now,
Hi,
there you go. I'm
Jess.
finally seeing.
Jet from
Nice to
Baguio.
meet you, Mark.
Hello.
Hello, there you go. So some more attendance check from some of our participants, our viewers. Very good. Thank you. If you haven't yet hit that like or heart button, please do so. We will appreciate that. Thank you. There you go. I'm seeing it now. So if it's your
Mhm.
first time to join us, this is our company, JY Consultancy and Ventures. We help organizations propel their employees to success. We specialize in organizational behavior. So whether it be about public speaking, business writing, leadership, or digital marketing, we're the right guys for you. We can conduct workshops both offline and online these days. Okay? If mabitin kayo, if you'd like to watch a few of our webinars conducted in the past, you can scan the QR code or copy the link, and there are 100 more webinars that you can catch, all 100% for free for all of you. Okay. If you have career issues you would like them to feature in the next episode, this is my email address, jonathanyabut@jycvasia.com. Okay. So, Fa, as we mentioned, today's topic
Mhm.
is so you want to be a freelancer, or you probably
Uh-huh.
already are, but you want to gear it up. The reason why this is close to my heart is because I did not jump immediately
Mm,
as an
mhm.
entrepreneur on my own. I was a freelancer first, which means I was still juggling an 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. job while I was getting a few projects here and there.
Mhm.
And then only a few years later did I decide, okay, I think this is doing well. I think I can now be on my own and register it as a sole proprietorship company, for
Mhm.
example. How about you? Can you share with me, Fa? How's your
For
story? Like a quick
me,
story of how
ever
you.
since ever since I was in college, or actually even high school, John, sobrang side hustler raketera ko. So, I would always be doing something on the side. So, early on, even at a young age, I can say freelance. Before the term freelancer came, I was kind of a freelancer already, doing stuff on the side. And then with you on JYCV, I think that's the formal
Oh
freelancing gig
yeah, that's right. That's
experience
right.
that I had. I'd be employed full time with another company, but as you know it, John, always here for JYCV projects. And then now, um, I'm also on consultancy right now, so I've formalized it. I'm self-employed, registered consultant, so I can take multiple projects.
Yeah. We're gonna talk about that. Speaking of registration, because I think
Mm,
this is something a lot of freelancers tend to confuse. Like, okay, how
oo.
do I pay my taxes if I happen to be a freelancer and I don't have an HR to cover that anymore? Okay. So,
Nice,
Fa,
nice.
I'm going to ask the first question now. Let's get to business. The first question is, what is the key difference between a
Mhm.
freelancer and an employee? And sometimes people also confuse being a freelancer as an entrepreneur because technically, if you're a freelancer, you're on your own. You're also earning on your own. So, how would you define the differences?
Okay. Well, for me, the number one key differentiator talaga would be based on your contract. As with
Agree.
any setup, the contract talaga dictates whether you are one a direct hire of the company. So a direct hire meaning company ABC would be hiring you as a direct employee eligible for these benefits, this compensation package in exchange for this
Number
set
of
of
hours. Yeah.
number of hours or even this designation or title.
Yeah.
And ganon yung typical employment contract, right? Versus freelancer, which should also be covered with a contract. So ako, number one learning ko, even when you're freelancing, you should still have a contract. So never
But
engage.
can I call that out? Because I think a lot of
Go.
freelancers are like that. Ito yung, for example, I see a lot of college students, they do freelancing like, I will be the one to post the photos and captions for a businessman. So I
Mm-mm.
will be paid, let's say, for example, 5,000 pesos per month, and there's no contract. So like
Ayan. Oo.
halfway through the project, biglang nawala yung employer mo. Wala ka ng bayad, wala ka ng
Correct.
mahahabol,
Correct. Maraming
right?
ganyan ha. And I understand sometimes your freelancing gigs will be coming from good friends or titos and titas, so family mo. And it's typically a verbal agreement or handshake agreement lang, no? But I highly suggest as early before even doing anything. At the end of the day, you're providing time, effort, your service, your expertise. Cover it with a contract, no matter how basic or how simple the agreement is. Just
You
make
know,
sure that expectations are clear.
I'd like to offer myself here. If you guys are looking for a contract for a freelance or contractual contract, I have a template that you can use so that when
Yan.
someone needs to sign you up, use it for them. I'm also gonna call out kasi ang dami mga Pinoy. There are so many Filipinos who do freelancing projects with employers abroad. So it's harder
Mhm.
to chase them if they don't pay you at the end of the service just because there wasn't any contract. So be careful about that.
Correct. So that's really the big differentiator for me between an employee and a freelancer. It should be defined in your contract, and then of course there are the little more obvious key differences. No, typically an employee would be entitled to a full set of benefits. So your company
Agree.
would
Yeah.
cover your government mandated payables.
Right.
Also, they would.
Insurance.
Correct. And yan, health insurance and other extras pa, no? Versus if you're a freelancer or a contract-based, project-based service provider, you're like a vendor. So the company would expect you to be just providing a specific set of service, but everything else is
That's it.
on you.
Right? Yep.
Oo. Correct,
Agree.
correct.
Agree. Paano naman yung freelancer and entrepreneur? What's the key difference? Because technically, both are also earning on their own and they don't report to a specific employer. Oh, sorry, freelancer does, but it's like you now run your own terms also, right? So, can I add first here in this
Mhm.
item fact? One of the key differences is how you are registered in the eyes of the government for
Mhm.
regulation purposes, no? So an entrepreneur, if in order for you to manage your business, you have to register it as either a sole proprietorship. It could be, for example, a corporation, whatever it is. A freelancer, on the other hand, when you apply, you have two options. You either apply as a professional. So
Mhm.
you apply for the same taxation, how do you call this? Taxation terms that doctors, lawyers also use, right? At the
So
same
for
time, a
me,
freelance,
John,
yes,
I'm self-employed and registered as a consultant.
right? So
Mhm.
if you happen to be, however, a free, kasi minsan, sometimes the freelancer definition can be vague. Sometimes you can
Mm,
be a
mm.
freelancer, but you have a group of two or three people. So sometimes that can also be under sole proprietorship. Although that's definition, you're about to graduate now to a full-fledged company, right?
Mhm,
So
mhm,
technically speaking, a freelancer, you're really solo. An entrepreneur, you can be solo, but most of the time, entrepreneurs have their own direct reports. Meron silang pinapasweldong mga empleyado also.
mhm.
And of course,
Yeah.
the way you're being taxed. So the way you're taxed, the percentage tax that's being applied to a corporation is different to a tax that's being applied to a professional or a self-employed individual. Okay?
Great, great.
Let's look at some I'm trying to look at some questions here in the chat box. I have a question here from LinkedIn. So
Mhm.
sabi dito ni Joel, is it okay? Ito critical tong question na to, no? Sabi niya, "Sir, do I really need to apply for how do you call this, for a BIR?" So for our listeners or viewers who are not from the
Mm.
Philippines, BIR is the Bureau of Internal Revenue. It's where you need to register yourself as an entity for taxation. Is it possible for me to be a freelancer but I do not apply for any taxation purposes? Right? So this is something where I will say two things. Number one, I will share what's happening in reality versus number two, what
Mhm,
should
mhm,
happen in reality. So what's
mhm.
happening in reality right now is when you do a freelance project, technically most people do not declare it, especially if
Oo.
it's a one-time cottage industry type of work. So for example, pipinturahan mo ang bakod ng iyong kapitbahay. Technically, nag-freelance ka nun, right?
Mm.
So those kinds of one-time, one-shot activities, people normally do not apply for tax for
Do not
that because it's
declare it.
only
Oo.
yeah, because it's one time. Plus, I promise you guys, the cost of having to do all those documentation is gonna be more than what you will be paid for if you're doing an activity like painting someone's fence. Okay. However, if you are a freelancer to the point that you're earning a consistent amount of money, you're advertising your services, and also you're doing multiple projects at the same time, that
Mm,
is
mm.
when you're supposed to be declaring it already. It's already a significant amount of money that the essence of contributing and giving it back to the society in the form of taxation is already merited.
Mm.
So I hope I
Ako,
answered your
John,
question.
quickly on that one, it's my personal moral code talaga to give back and do it the proper way, to register myself and also declare my earnings, no, as a consultant.
Plus pa,
Um,
ang raise ko lang 'no, kapag gusto mo mag-apply ng mga visa in the future like
yan
US
din.
visa, Japanese visa, they're gonna
Oo.
ask for an ITR,
We're gonna
proof that
ask
you
for
were
an
paying your taxes.
ITR.
If
And
you don't have that
inaalagaan natin yan.
exactly, if you don't have that, you have to prove that you can provide resources for your funding of your flight in alternative means. Either you have to show assets, et
Correct.
cetera. Mas mahirap 'yan, especially if you're still a breadwinner and working on your own.
True, true.
Okay, let's go to question number two. Before I do that, Jazz Kabusao is asking, do we have an organization for freelancers? You know, there are a lot of Facebook page and Facebook groups for freelancers, like
Mm-mm.
Philippine Freelancers Group, one of the most popular. They have thousands of members. You
Yeah.
can join them, and they post a lot of projects that freelancers can take on.
Correct, correct. But formally though, I don't think there's wala pa akong naririnig na like
Yeah,
a
there is
formal
no
group.
like even an NGO. I don't think. I mean, if there is, please let
Oh,
us know
please let
because
us know. Yeah, yeah.
love we would love to promote that as well, and I would join that. I would ask some of my freelancer
Mm-mm.
friends to join that also. Okay,
Same, same.
okay, Fat. Let's cover question number two.
Question number 2. John, I plan to have multiple projects with different employers. Oh, nice. Do I need to tell them that I'm working on something else?
Okay,
Interesting. I assume this person is a full-time employee. I mean, we lack some context, but
or let's assume also, Fat, na let's say it's really a freelancer because sometimes
okay.
one project may not be enough for you, for what you
Totoo.
earn. So if I assume the worst case muna na you're a freelancer and you're doing multiple projects with different employers, check your contract
Mm-mm.
because most of the time, so let's first look at the baseline. Most of the time, employers who get freelancers or contractuals as their workers already assume that you're juggling multiple projects. That's the point of being a freelancer nga eh. Diba? They
Totoo.
already assume that. However, sometimes there are certain employers who in their contract indicate that even if you are a freelancer, they want you to focus only on this specific
Full-time.
project. So
Correct.
so it's like you're a full time on this project, even if you're a freelancer.
Mm-mm.
And there is such a thing. So check
There
your
is, there
contract
is.
because if you hide it, it might be breach of contract. And the reason why
Mm-mm.
employers do that is because they want you to be laser focused on the project at hand.
Correct, correct. And for
Okay?
me, like, side or additional stuff na lang. Once you check your contract, is it a full-time? Do they need you full-time to focus? And let's say,
Mm,
magaling ka talaga and your body can still handle it. For me, next to check na lang is, I hope it is not conflict of interest. Me personally, I try not to mix um, it's a personal thing, John. I just do not like it when yung talagang conflict of interest. Like I'm
Oh,
handling, say,
pa
direct competitors.
yan, I was saying in the interest of some of our listeners who might not be familiar, can you explain more examples of what could be conflict of interest in terms of industry or company?
Correct, correct. So, direct competitors. So, for example, if you're doing freelancing, especially for strategy or consulting jobs like I do, no, if you're doing, say, a consulting gig with brand A, which is a direct competitor of brand B, I try not to mix
Yeah,
those
kunyari
two.
sabon, shampoo,
Mm-mm.
or
Yan.
smartphone. So be careful because they're concerned about you might be divulging some secrets of the
Correct.
company. Usually, nasa kontrata mo din yan. Your
Correct.
contract indicates that in the next 2 or 3 years, you must not be sharing any trade secret or trade information to any other client that you have in the future.
Yep. Also, I noticed, John, good practice ito with employers. No, there are some employers during your screening who really ask, "Are you married or related to anyone from a competitor company?" Or
Yep.
they ask you to declare if you have other businesses. Kasi it can really happen. Like, what if your family has I mean, you have a family business and you're a director there. I mean, 'di ba may positions kang ganon, you have to declare that, or nagkataon isa kang blogger or stylist while in fully employed with a company, so you also kind of need to disclose that.
Yep. Yep. And sometimes you, even if it's not being asked, have the moral ascendancy to reveal it to them and tell it to them because it's better to say it nasa umpisa versus
Correct.
in the middle of the project they discover it and they shut you down and say, sorry, we have to cut the contract because of this issue.
Mm-mm.
Okay?
Nice.
All right. Before we go to the next question, we have two more questions left. Mamimigay ulit tayo ng mga prizes. I hope our participants are cool with this. So, I'm feeling generous this week. Mamimigay ako ng mga tickets for two of our webinars, both of
Okay.
these two webinars. So, the first one is happening on June 2, caption writing for online sellers and content creators. And then June 3 naman, advanced customer service management on chat and email. All webinars are conducted in English, so all of our participants, regardless if you're in the Philippines or outside, you're eligible for this. We're going to be selecting now 5 winners, and each winner can win 2 tickets for themselves. O, di ba? We're very
Wow.
generous. Remember that the ticket value is 799 pesos, but for today, we'll be giving 2 tickets per winner, 5 winners in total.
Wow,
Okay.
thank you,
Ah,
John, for your service to
of
humanity.
course. We want to fill up the slots as well. So let's call out some winners. Pa, can
All
I
right.
ask you to call out some of our winners? So 5 names, please.
From 5 names. So the first name, let's get someone from Facebook, Teyot Reyes.
Tayot Reyes.
Congratulations.
Tayot is watching from
Yes.
Vietnam. Tama ba? VN?
Oo.
I was assume that's from Vietnam. Thank
Yep,
you.
yep. And then Des Atienza also on Facebook.
Congratulations.
Congratulations. Let us see. Chacha Galo. Congratulations.
Okay.
How
And
many
then two
more
more.
names? Two
Two more.
more. Let's someone from LinkedIn. Ito, John Michael Andales. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
And lastly, Randy Valencia from Facebook. Congratulations. Five
Congratulations.
names
So for
pa,
all
no?
all our 5 winners, look at the scrolling, yung lumalabas na marquee sa baba, yung gumagalaw. You will see that there is a link for you to claim your prizes. Please watch that out and then copy the link, put it into your internet browser. That is a portal where you can claim your prize. And please indicate the 2 items that you are winning, both the June 2 and the June 3 webinars. Take a photo,
Wow.
take a screenshot para hindi nyo makalimutan both of them. So congratulations. Let's ask an exclamation mark from our participants. I hope you guys are
Congrats.
capturing that.
And
Congratulations
John,
pa.
quick shout out
Yes.
lang, no? Si Jaiza is asking, Farah, can you offer a webinar on how to file taxes in BIR? Well,
Naman. Oh, why
wow,
not?
grabe
Let's
yon,
ask
ah.
Farah to do that.
Ay, hindi. For me,
Okay.
I have an accountant. So,
Oh,
so
that's
it's
also another, by the
proper.
way, that's also one, no? At some point when
Oo.
you already have the resources, it's better because these are things that can give you a headache and there are a lot of things that it will cost you so much time. So you'd rather outsource it to someone else.
Correct. And it's
Okay.
properly done.
Yeah. But let me just address this question from Jewelson. Jewelson says, guys, question: why do employers love freelancers? Don't they love their employees anymore? Please correct my confusion. So there are two reasons why employers will prefer a freelancer than a full-time employee. Number one is for economical reason. If the project will not happen permanently, it will just only span for 3 months to 6 months. It makes more business sense for the organization to hire a contractual or a freelancer, right?
Mm-mm.
Because you will not need the headcount. Masasayang ang it's going to be costly because if you hire a full-time employee, not only do you cover the insurance, the benefit and all these things, you have to guarantee that they have a job because you
Correct.
cannot just let them go for no reason.
Mm-mm.
So
Totoo
most of the
yan.
time, freelancers you only that. Number two, I also have to say this. I know a lot of freelancers who are so good, they're even way better than other employees. They became better because it's their craft and they prefer to become freelancers. So for
Mm-mm.
example, makeup artists, graphic designers, most of them are freelancers. They don't want to be full time because they don't want to be attached because they're doing so well doing their jobs as freelancers. So you have no
Correct, correct.
choice. You can't hire these people as permanent positions, right? Instead, you get a freelancer. So I hope I'm able to answer your question. Okay, let's go to the next question now. Let me
Yes,
read this one.
yes.
Can freelancers
Go ahead.
also avail of government programs like Social Security, housing loan, etc.? Are freelancers also covered by holidays like Christmas, New Year, and religious festivities?
Hmm.
So
Ako,
off the bat, the answer is so this is a true or false thing. The answer is technically and in most situations, no. And it's usually
mm,
not provided by the company. They can if your employer chooses to give it, but they
oo,
are
but
not required or mandated
required.
by the law to provide it. Meron ka
So
ba,
for
Fa?
also, no, quick question, ako, quick answer. In my case, personal case, I file my own government mandated stuff and I also process my own extras. So personal akong kumukuha ng extra health insurance and others, no? And then for the holidays, typically I declare my schedule in a sense na I disclose to my clients that I do not work on these dates.
It's
But
a
if
good thing to
I do,
negotiate, by the way, no? But like, before you sign the
oo,
contract, if you can ask them if you can, these are things that you are provided as your leaves or
correct.
holidays also.
So it also, but of course, it's also good for the client to know para you can manage the time frame. So if a project will fall on this, say talagang Christmas ka required, no, then
Yeah.
unfortunately you would have to render service there. But it's also in the way you negotiate, I guess, or you manage with your client.
Yeah. Sorry, I think people got confused with my answer a while ago, and I think I realized that when Fa answered, yes, you can avail. So when I say freelancers can also avail, yes, you can, because it's actually going to be deducted from your own earnings, your
Mm-mm.
SSS, your housing loan. However, please remember that your HR, who you had when you were working, will not file for that
For
anymore because you don't
you,
have your own HR. It's you yourself who's going to do it. So you have to
correct.
file for your own SSS, you have to file for your own pag-ibig or whatever it is. No,
Mm-hmm.
pag-ibig is the mortgage arm of the Philippines, for example. So same thing also for holidays. Sometimes your holidays do not cover Philippines; it covers United States holidays if your
That's true.
employer is from United States.
Mm-mm.
So there. Okay. May I request an exclamation mark from our participants if you guys are learning so far? I hope you guys are. Very good. Thank you. All right, Fa, can we give our last prize to our participants? So this
Oh,
is
daming
May
prizes.
27. Okay, one more prize. This is for tomorrow na ha. May 27, Friday, 4:30 to 6 o'clock p.m. The Art of Virtual Selling and Remote Customer Service. It's a boot camp on how you can engage your customers online using digital platforms. Even if you can't see them face to face, how do you build trust? How do you build rapport? So, Fa, let's
Mm.
call out again 5 winners. Each winner is going to get 2 tickets.
Wow.
Okay?
Very
Balik
generous
na
talaga,
generous tayo.
JYCV. Okay.
Okay.
Congratulations to Daphne Ong from Facebook.
Congratulations. First one.
Also, Margaret Ann Rancho from Facebook then. Congratulations. We, yeah, let's call out Ramilito Libron Carillo. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Alip Jennifer. Congratulations.
One last name, please.
One last name. Let's call out Jazz Kabusao. Congratulations.
Congratulations. So all the 5 winners, congratulations. Please claim your prize. You see the QR code at the bottom of the screen, or you can also catch the scrolling
The
marquee,
link.
yung gumagalaw na yan, the one that's moving from left to right. You can see there the link bit.ly/JY prize. Please enter that portal because we need to get your email address so we can send to you the Zoom link. Okay? This photo, this visual will not be here for the longest time, so please take a photo, take a screenshot now before we move on to the last question. Okay?
Oh,
I
last
hope you're able to capture that.
question.
Okay. All right. One more. Before I move on to the last question, I'd like to invite our viewers, our listeners, to please also catch our podcast From Grit to Great, co-hosted by my brother Jed, who, by the way, is in front of me right now.
Hi,
I'm streaming from
Jed!
I'm streaming from my parents' place. Jed is there. He says hello. So you can scan the QR code or copy the link into your browser if you're interested to catch. It's all about entrepreneurship, career management, leadership, and the like. Okay, Pa, here's question number 4, the last question. Can I do freelancing projects while I'm working as a full-time employee? Oh, ayan, you know the answer already.
Of course.
How's your experience also?
Of course. As mentioned earlier, I do not mix it na it's a direct competitor. But the service I provide is also very clearly consulting or digital marketing or an expertise that I have. Typically, it's I also try to listen to my body. So I assume that as a full-time employee, your Mondays to Fridays are really heavy. And when I was younger, I had time and energy to
Yeah.
really juggle another project. No,
You know what I
remember the
noticed from millennials? What they do is they're a full-time employee from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and then they
mm,
choose side hustles or gigs as a
correct.
freelancer that can be done in the evening
In the evening or outside of work
or in the
hours
weekends.
or weekends. That's how I also started, John. It was really because I just had so much energy and I felt like I could do more. Plus,
But
I
now that
felt
we are entering our, oh my gosh, I can't believe I'm saying this. I'm about to enter my 40s soon, right?
but also, John, understand that when you're a full-time employee and exploring to do freelancing on the side, the commitment to do both well should be there, no? Because it's also your reputation if you accept something and then you cannot deliver pala. Alam mo yon. So try to really
Agree.
manage your energy and um, your priority.
Yeah. Back can I also raise because this is also an issue of your contract. So
Good.
yes, most of the time you can do freelancing on the side while you are a full-time employee. However, again, there are certain full-time contracts who do not allow their full-time employees to do
Mm-mm.
freelancing or side hustle. So check it because if they find it out, you can be held for breach of contract in this case, especially if
Agree.
it's as what Farah mentioned a while ago, especially if it's something that's conflict of interest, like you're working for a company that makes cereals and then you made a consulting project for another company that's the direct competitor of that cereal company.
Mm. Diba? Medyo ano na yon, question mark.
Very questionable, right? Okay. All right. We're going to end the session now. And if you have any questions you'd like to raise in the future, please do send me an email, jonathanyabut at jycvasia.com. If you learned something from this talk show, could you please give us an exclamation mark or a heart sign? We would love to see that. Very good.
I'm giving you a heart. Ayan.
Yeah. Why does it feel like it's a Friday night? I don't know, but it's only Thursday. I've done meetings today, and I all of them thought that it was a Friday. One of my clients even thought it was going to be Saturday tomorrow.
Na
I don't know.
tomorrow.
Maybe it's
Wow.
just
Excited.
things are mas maluwang. I don't know, more loose. I don't know. Okay. So, Fa, thank you again for sharing your expertise and your knowledge with us in this talk show. Thank you
Thank you,
also to
Jonathan,
our
for
other
doing
listeners and
this.
viewers. Okay. And we hope to see you in the next episode, guys. Happy weekend
See
in advance.
you.
Bye.
See you next week. Bye.